Welcome.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome back to takeONE podcast. My name is Ramzi.
My name is Andrew.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good, man. Honestly, I can't believe it's been 7 days since we recorded the first one.
Yeah.
Where we had no idea what we were going to be doing, but here we are.
It was all impromptu too, right?
It was super. My eyes twitching. That's weird.
How did even? It's okay for the visual. I mean, the audio listeners, they won't see that, but you can hear them.
Yeah, man. It was super impromptu. We're just like, let's just sit down, record, and chat. And now the podcast is now on. We weren't even intending for it to be a podcast, right?
Nope.
Like we were just like, let's record it.
Let's do something. Let's have something as a base and just start from there where it takes us. And at the end of the day, I think that's a lot of things, right? When it comes to jumping the gun on doing something, if you talk about it so much, how do you execute something properly so that you're able to do what you truly love, right? And
exactly.
I never knew I would like talking this much, but it's something that I think we both learn from each other, and we learn as people message us about different things.
And it helps you wrap your head around things when you say it out loud, right?
Exactly.
So like you may have these thoughts in your head, and until you actually say it, you don't know if you know it.
No.
But again, thank you for all the support. Like I can't believe how many people have engaged us through social media and through messages, and just been like, I love what you guys are doing. That's awesome. Keep it up. Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. The podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and then there is clips that you will find on socials such as TikTok,
Instagram, Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah, all of those. Facebook too, I believe. We're going to start up the Facebook if not.
You can get all those links. There's a link in linktree.com/takeonepod.
Yeah, that's what it is. If not, it's on the Instagram.
Yeah, it's on the Instagram bio.
But we do appreciate you guys again, and it really does mean a lot. I want to give a shout out to Tristan Wilson there. If you're listening to this podcast, your message has inspired me, bro. We haven't spoken in a while, but to know that our work has an impact on people that want to get into this type of thing, we understand that this platform is going to be big.
And I told Andrew when we started, I'm like, if this gets one person to be inspired, then I think it's a success. So anything from here on out is just for fun, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
This setup took like wow.
The setup because last time we shot it was daylight.
Yeah.
And last time we shot it was daylight. This time it's night time because there's only like 2 hours of daylight in December, which still kind of sucks.
Looks kind of similar. To
so we got our current setup we got going right now. We got LED panel with a diffusion there. We got another LED panel with a diffusion right there. We have our background lights to kind of give some depth into the frame. And then we have 3 cameras. So we got our A cam, boom, our B cam, boom, and C cam. It's Sony may as well have been sponsoring this. I wish, but we just spent way too much money on their cameras. But they're great cameras. So that's the setup. Maybe we'll go into further detail about exactly how it's set up in the future if that's something you'd be interested in. Yeah. But before we get into the podcast, I just want to say a huge shout out to Apex V2R. It's written on this computer behind me. Apex V2R is pretty much it's a world-class facility. It is the only driving simulation lounge center in the Ottawa area and a lot of the neighboring areas. It's a very unique place. There's over 10 very immersive driving simulators. You can drive with virtual reality or on screen. Either way, the experience is insane. They were graceful enough to let us use the space. So
very nice
thank
space.
you. Please check them out. They're at 1619 Carling Avenue. Tell them takeONE sent you, and they'll take care of you.
Yes. And virtual reality is pretty crazy too.
Dude, so I work with Apex V2R. I do some media for the shop, and it blows my mind where technology has gone. Like these are machines, they're aluminum chassis powered by a PC and some hardware like a steering wheel and pedals, and it just immerses you, and you just feel like you're driving a car. It's just it's crazy where technology has gone. That's a whole other world.
Yeah.
We'll
maybe get into another time.
Maybe we'll get into it. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll do a little tour of this place at some point, just show you guys around the space. But that being said, let's we'll jump right into
questions of the day.
Let's
go.
So Andrew put out a little thing on he put a poll out on IG on the stories. Sorry, someone sent a really inappropriate question. We can't share that.
You guys won't see it.
You might see it. So the question is from Mathieu Maisonneuve. Mathieu is a young driver. He does go-karting and sim driving, and I've seen him drive, and he's going places. Thank you for sending the question. Thank you for taking interest in the podcast.
Means a lot.
It honestly means a lot. So his question for us is, how much experience do you have as media producers? That's a big one. Because experience is hard to quantify,
Yeah.
right? But I would say, like, I've been around cameras since I was in grade 10. So it'd be like, I took photography class in grade 10. My first kind of interaction with a DSLR camera, nothing really happened. And then it was around 2 years out of high school, I just decided to pick up a camera again. And since then, a camera has been in my hand, and I consider that the start of my experience. So it's been around 4 to 5 years since I've really been experiencing the world of media production. But
For the people that I guess are kind of getting into this type of world, would you say 4 to 5 years is something that is long?
No, it flew by, dude. Like, again, it's like, you know the saying, like, if you're doing something you love, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like anything. Like, I've loved it all along. And yes, there's been times where I didn't want to touch my camera because it was it was a creative block or whatever. But the 5 years has flew by. And I mean, at the same time, I was working on some other things. Like, I was studying, I was in school, and, you know, trying to develop some other areas, other aspects of myself as an individual. But 4 or 5 years is not that much time. So don't, 1 year is nothing. Like 1 year. So don't be scared to just take a year to just develop yourself. Right. But back to the question. So around 4 to 5 years of experience, is how long?
Is how long? Yeah.
What about you? What about you?
So you have quite a few years on me, 4 to 5. I'm so similar to like last time and similar to like Ramsey's. You know, I start back when it came to being, I think, in around grade 11 to 12. When it came to that year, I went out to Paris. I went out to Seattle. Kyle, this is a shout out to you. You really kind of pushed me a little bit in terms of creating content as well. We created a wasabi challenge. We did a vlog style type of thing. We tried to do a little bit of the karaoke side of things, and had a basketball vlog as well.
So you were singing?
I was singing. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing here.
We're gonna hear.
No.
He wants to hear my accent, but we're gonna hear him sing.
Okay, wait. Before we start, listen. There was a person that's in there. I forgot the name. You know what? Because I care, I'm gonna take a look at what that name is, so we can give you a shout out. And I really do apprete you.
What are you shouting out?
Well, the guy wants to hear your accent.
I don't have an accent. I told you it's
Who
gone.
wants to hear it? DYK Wim Podcast wants to hear it. So, if you want to hear my singing, you gotta hear the podcast. Just say hello. I'm Ramsey.
No, that doesn't sound British.
Okay, then say well, good morning.
No.
No. Just do it.
It has to be natural.
All right.
It'll come. At some point in this episode, I'm just gonna out of nowhere.
I guess the singing's gonna come out of
It's
nowhere.
gonna come out of nowhere.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the question.
Tracking back, I forgot where I started, but essentially, yeah. Shout out to you again. We've done a couple things, and as a career, we'll stop here. This is the most important thing that you should know if you're getting into this. You're gonna have creative blocks. As Ramsey mentioned, you're going to have times where you're leaving the camera there because there's nothing creative that is out there for you to do. Whether that is something based off of just not going out and doing it, or whether that's based off of just being lazy. And you have to find that balance. Am I going out to reaching out, social networking out to people to find these contracts? Or am I simply just really not doing any of that? Once you find that balance, and trust me, you will go against that, overcome it somehow. And trust me, the people that you meet are going to help you go past those barriers. So essentially about a year ago, me, Johnny, Kazan, we went out, we shot at Lansdowne. And again, you have that high of having that camera, and you're very excited to try it out, and you're happy when people see the results. And then later on, it dipped down a little bit. We got a couple gigs here and then that we linked up for.
Yeah, we definitely learned a few things from those early gigs.
Exactly.
Like managing expectations with clients, and
exactly.
You know, like, we're not gonna sit here and talk shit. But
what was good though was that you had a lot of experience that you brought to me that I really learned from. And I'll be honest, like the work that you've done, I look back at myself and I was saying, I'm like, man, this guy's doing everything. what am I doing sitting here in my freaking bed?
It's funny because I kind of feel the same now.
Yeah.
Like, but what the reason I liked Andrew in the beginning was his energy was just like unbelievable. It's just, I was like, how does this guy have so much energy? He must sleep like 20 hours. Coffee. But no, again, it's kind of like the high, right? Like when you're excited about something, like you go to sleep thinking about it, you wake up thinking about it, and it's very important. But yeah, we definitely learned some stuff in the beginning.
And that's like, again, like as we spoke about, 4 to 5 years is not a lot. Same with the year, but having the right people, social networking to different people as well within the city and outside the city is going to help expand your true potential, but also help you learn. I think there's also like a good note to, it's not about how long you do it, it's about how much you do it as well. Because a mix of both. But
you have to balance, right? Like you want to, obviously you can't be burning yourself out because then that leads to
creative blocks,
nothing, right? No production. Lazy. And that's something I'm going to ask you in a sec. I want to ask you what you do to when you're faced with a creative block.
Yeah.
But basically all those years of experience like does not necessarily mean that I'm better than anybody. It's just that's how long it took me to be confident in my work. The early years were spent developing and experimenting
the
and
basics and all that.
Yeah, so it was only as of like really a year and a half to 2 years ago that things really ramped up because I was able to confidently tell a client, look, I can produce what you're asking, or I could promise them something and I could do it, and I know I could do it because I've either done it or I was armed with the necessary skills and tools to do it. So that's
and you got some pretty crazy gear too. That's
not even like honestly, my gear is outdated.
Yeah.
In terms of the technological world, my gear is outdated, but it works. That's the thing. Like you don't have to have the latest gear, because 5 years ago everything was insane. Today it's even more insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, the stuff from 5 years ago still
different.
has its place.
Yeah.
But did you want to add anything to that question? Or I think
we
kind of got a little bit sidetracked, but
yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
Mathieu, I hope that answers your question in terms of how much experience we have. If you want to know any more details, just feel free to shoot us a message.
Ask us another question. Maybe.
Yeah. No, we honestly, I love these questions. But Andrew mentioned creative block.
Yeah.
I want to know, and I'll kind of tell you my process. Like, what do you do when you're faced with a creative block?
Creative block in a sense where I'm just at home not doing anything?
Not necessarily at home, but like you just don't have that fire inside of you to go and create. Like what have you done in the past, or whatever? Maybe it's just back away for a little bit, or like what?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I look back, being in this type of world and investing in this type of world, you see a lot of people through social media creating content. I think that's what kind of drove me a little bit higher and have that kind of fire inside to want to go outside and create. And the reason why is because, as Ramzi said, you need to have that balance in between doing stuff and also taking time for yourself. Because if you do stuff consistently, you're just going to burn out.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that same creative fire. And with that in mind, when you're on social media, you don't want to deal with any of the photography, videography type of thing. But when I am in that type of block, I do find being on social media, following key people like Daniel Schiffer, Peter McKinnon, even my friends, like even your stuff. Your stuff is crazy. The car stuff that I see is amazing. And the reason why I say this is because when you have the right connections and you follow the right people on social media, you'll find that those people will help make you be creative and want you to do more. Because the reason why is because you want to either A, collaborate with them, or B, you want to do something similar to what they're doing as well. And that's what really helps drive my energy up there.
So I will add that I find also social media, when people are feeling maybe not as motivated to create, I think social media can also destroy their confidence, because if they're already not in the mood and then they see all this amazing stuff, they'll be like, how crap, oh no, like I'm just even further away from it. But I know that's your process, but I guess I would advise just if you do use social media to get yourself out of a creative block, just use it as an inspiration. Don't let it kind of tear you down and be upset about it.
Think of it like a process, right? Again, it's not something that's going to happen this instant. It's going to be something that takes steps, but finding the, I guess, like for me, it's been more of when you follow these key people, you look at, and a lot of these people, they break down the BTS of it, right? But looking at that BTS and curating to how you can shape similar to what they do so that you can go out and do the same, if not similar stuff to what they do.
Yeah.
And again, to your point, if it's not perfect, don't bring yourself down on it, but use it as another way to be like, okay, what can I do to go out to create something similar that this person has done? Or if not, tweaking it to my own best ability.
Yeah. And so I'm going to give my input on creative block, because as a creator, as a producer of media, that media does not exist without you. You enable that, right? So you must always put yourself first. I mean, not in a selfish way necessarily, but put your well-being as a priority, whether that's mental or physical or both. Prioritize that, and the creativity will flow. So if I ever feeling like a creative block, usually some form of change is how I get out of it. Whether that's like changing around my office space, changing as simple as changing the wallpaper on my phone and my computer, just to see something else, or maybe changing my process, or editing in a different place, or shooting with a new person. So whatever your process entails and your operation entails, like if you find yourself kind of stuck, just switch something around, shock yourself, give yourself that kind of like boom. Like for example, like setting up this podcast, like this is a space that I have created in, but not in this sense. I've taken photos and videos in the shop, but this space, it's sparked all this conversation, right? Because it's new to both of us. We have lights and cameras pointed at us, and so just shock yourself with a change. Do something for yourself. Go out, enjoy life. Eat some good food. I
think the biggest thing too is like, don't overthink. What sparked in my mind here was that this setup was difficult. I don't know if you thought about it or I didn't think about it, but I didn't think about the process of how difficult it was going to be, because I find when you think about the difficulties of what a setup could look like, you're just not going to become motivated. But just jumping into it, as you said, do that spark. Don't even think about it. Just go, have the right look. These are the tools that we need. Go in, bring it, set up from there.
Or even, this is what I have. Use all of it.
Exactly.
Literally, we're using a lot of our equipment right now to record this, and I find that awesome, because it just kind of helps wrap our heads around this and that, and it's just 3 angles is fun, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see what it looks like.
Couple angles. Editing cool. This is gonna be.
Let's do it. 1, 2, and then 3.
Hello.
See how cool that is? It's cool. This is gonna be another question.
This is from Instagram?
This is from Instagram, yes.
Cool. See, social media is a great place, because Andrew somehow found this enormous podcasting community that I didn't even know existed. And now we've interacted with all these other podcasts who are aspiring to grow and build an audience. And I think
that's doors for like a lot more things.
I think that's freaking awesome.
Which is why I say, like we said, do your thing, do it. Don't, like if you open yourself to, if you go out and you do these things that you never thought you would ever do, there's going to be a community there somewhere to help support you, and podcasting is one of them.
Exactly. Anytime you do something that you've never done before, obviously not putting yourself in harm's way. Yeah. But anytime you do something you've never done before, something good will come of it. I promise. I guarantee it, whether that's inside your brain or external. But we'll go on to the next question now. So on to our next question from Instagram.
This one's from 905 MVS, or also known as Melhia Khalid. Thank you again. I know we networked over a bit, and I love your stuff, and you've been showing the same love back, which is much appreciated. And the fact that you sent me a question as well, it means a lot. So basically, how do you feel about people using new apps that do all the hard editing work for them while you spend hours making the same thing? Basically, how do you feel about people getting the same results and the audience the easier way? I think this is a very unique question.
That's a good one, honestly, because depends what side of that you're on, right?
Yeah.
Are you on the side of you're the one using those apps?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you answer. Then I'm gonna give my input.
So this one's unique. Yeah. Because I can tell you I've done both. I'm not even gonna lie. I've done both.
Yeah. No, of course.
Couple things. When you're getting into the basics of specific things. Okay, wait, no, scrap that. So let's go to client work. When it comes to client work, I will tell you now, these shortcuts will only get you so far. And the reason why I say that is because when they ask for a specific detail or specific thing that they want you to do, you may not be able to know how to do it. If it's specific coloring, that may be a different story. The only programs that I kind of really use is to help color grade the photos that I've done. And the reason why I use those programs is because a mix of both things, and you may think different as well.
Okay, sure.
Being able to choose a LUT and put it on and deliver the work, that's great. It's there. Being able to learn how to do it, I think, is the beauty of doing all of this, is that you then know how to bring that into photography, videography, and also different stuff. But the problem with using these apps is that because you don't know how to do those skills, when you want to branch off to specific things like, let's say, videography, I don't know how to create a LUT. You know how to create a LUT because you've dealt with the process of doing that, which is why I think there's a
at
mix
least you're honest, and I appreciate that, you know? That's good.
Yeah.
No, it's good to be honest.
It's a mix of both, right?
Yeah,
And as like,
and there's no shame in either one if you're, you know, that's the way I see it, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, like you will, it may work temporarily, but you will hit a point where it no longer works, and then you have no choice but to learn it.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think it's like while you're, like, the thing is, I think you want to progress everything at the same time rather than perfecting this one area and then now you feel so like not motivated because this one basic task that if you learned right from the get-go, you wouldn't be stressed about. But I think for the work that I'm doing right now, it can be a mixture of both. It's good to learn how to do specific things, and again, Google is your best friend for these specific techniques that you need to do. But again, I think depending on what kind of work you do and what kind of work that the client demands, I think a mix of both is good at the same time. But I definitely love to hear your perspective.
Yeah. So basically, the question was asking, like, how do we feel about people who just use apps to take certain shortcuts to get a certain effect, right? So I think those are really cool because they can give you inspiration and they can allow you to experiment with different, you know, techniques, whether that's transitions or animations or color grades or whatever it may be. But it's not a sustainable way of producing because at one point or another, you're going to have to modify it to suit your project's needs, and then that's when you're going to be like, crap, either whatever app you're using can't do it, or you just don't know how. So I mean, I encourage you to explore all, like one thing that comes to mind, for example, is small animations or titles and stuff like that. Like I would always use kind of templates, right? At first, and then I started learning how to do it. And then when it comes to color grading, I used to throw a bunch of LUTs on my footage. Then I was like, okay, you know, it's time to actually learn how to color grade footage. And another thing is like transitions is one thing. I'll be honest, I still do use presets for transitions because they're great as long as you don't overuse them, I think. But I guess I'm not too, you know, hurt by the fact that people do it. But just know if you overdo those, then it'll speak for itself. It'll show there will be a lack of character in the work. So
I think a lot of it does come down to timing as well, right?
Right.
If you're someone who has to deliver client work back to back to back to back, you can take those shortcuts. But it can tell through the work that you do. Sometimes those shortcuts will suck, right?
It could drop the quality like significantly.
Exactly. If you can find out there like as well, like a very good transition, like I do, like for transitions for myself, I always try to find a template. I'm not even gonna lie. There are times though, like with masking and all that I will learn on my own and know how to do on my own.
Yeah, the masks.
But for specific ones, like I watched a video, and this is from Henbu. I think he walked through step by step on how to do a specific transition. I'm like, if I did this. And technically, you don't have to do it for every video, but like, let's say if I did this for each individual video, my turnaround time for videos would be longer than what you see right now. My turnaround time depends, obviously.
Depends on what other projects
not
you
working,
got going,
but
right.
You could be going from essentially like 2 days to essentially 5 days just because of that extra work. But again, I think it's important to find the balance. I think it's also important to find the beauty in doing all of that so that if you need to meet that specific quality that they're looking for, you're able to incorporate that as well.
And then once you understand it, then you have that freedom of creativity. If you understand how a certain effect works, then now you are controlling it. So I encourage you to explore everything, but also learn things. Like, don't take shortcuts that will bite you in the ass in the future. No, that was a good question because it's hard. Like I understand, like, you know, people put a lot of time into certain things and they just see someone else kind of come in and just boom 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 use this app and create. Like it can be kind of insulting.
Yeah. But
in a way.
I think it also gives like everyone a good perspective because the work that we both do, and it's interesting to see what we both think of and how we use it. So and especially for those that are getting into it or are currently in it, be open to trying different things. It doesn't hurt, right? But again, if you want to learn how to do a specific thing, find that tutorial. Google's your best friend. YouTube as well. Different platforms.
Tutorial. There is literally a tutorial for everything.
Exactly.
Everything. You just have to watch it.
I use it like 95% of the time.
Man, it's free. I taught myself almost, besides other people who have shown me, how to do things, I've pretty much self-taught everything. Yeah. So I think the internet is a beautiful place.
None of us went to school for videography or photography.
No.
It's self-taught and like...
I mean, I've done I've watched some courses online where people break things down, and
you got to go out and do it.
Yeah, but it's all there, and like even if you do have to pay a little bit of money to learn something, it's like better than maybe you pay like $50 to learn a short course on how to set up lighting. Let's say film school is what like 10-15 grand, maybe more.
Exactly.
Plus residence, plus time. We don't have time, man. No one has time anymore. Time. What is time?
Time passes by quickly.
Yeah.
So, but especially if you're trying to like learn different things, travel around the world, like you don't have time to spend. I'm not saying that. Hey, listen, like if those who have already done it, we're not saying it's a bad route to go. It's just there are different ways to do it, and obviously, if you have taken that route, there are different results that come with it. Right?
Of course, and I know the people who have spent the time to actually go to school for it will know many things that I or Andrew don't know, and the same thing maybe, but and when we maybe know things that they don't know because we've been in the field, but at some point we will be at the same level because as long as the same amount of effort's put in, if that makes any sense.
And I know you've been on a bunch of sets too, and with that, like you've gave me information that I didn't really think of because you've been on those sets. But that's why I say importantly, social network, meet new people. That's going to be key to helping you succeed, and that's going to be key on helping you push to be the best you. So
exactly. So thank you for much. Thank you for much. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I thought you were gonna,
for the question.
We really do appreciate it.
Send more questions because I want to be able to answer to the best of my knowledge, and I know you do too. And it's good conversation, right?
Things we don't know about each other, or things that we don't know that open up to a new door, asking new questions. So do it. We want to have fun with you guys. We're a community after all. So we have a meme of the day. I just don't know where it is. I gotta find it. I think someone posted it today.
We'll put it up. So I think you sent it to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Andrew sent me this meme, and it's like, why do men start podcasts instead of going to therapy?
Hold up. We'll have it here.
No, we'll put it up.
No, okay, we'll put it up. So why do men start podcasts instead of going to therapy? The same reason females start an OnlyFans instead of getting a job.
Oh my God.
Harsh words, but
it's just funny because honestly, like after last time we did this podcast, I felt great. I'm not gonna lie. I just talked for an hour straight, dude.
Exactly.
Like, it gave me a weird amount of energy. So I think, again, we kind of touched on the fact that it's like, because we're sitting here, we're using our phones for some notes, but we're sitting here and we're just talking, and the camera's forcing us to talk. Otherwise, like, how often do you sit down and look someone dead in the eye and have a good old-fashioned conversation, have some banter, have some arguments, don't see eye to eye, see things, just go through a conversation without the use of technology. Exactly. I know we're using our phones as notes, but I mean, you know what I mean? Just talk.
Yeah.
It feels great. So I guess that's why.
I don't know. A lot of people just want to talk through their phones. You're
like my therapist, bro.
Ramsey's my therapist as well. But like literally, like you're on. Like for me, I won't even lie. I was on my phone. I didn't want to network, and you guys may or may not know this about me. Those who know me for a long time, I was a shy guy. I wouldn't go out of my way to do something, whether it's a presentation or anything like that. Yeah. Sometimes I would if I had the energy and the confidence to do so, but most of the times I won't. But this, meaning you, meaning other people, has let me flourish in a way that I'm not embarrassed, or not even embarrassed, but not even shy to do these things anymore. And if you have that shyness in you, 1, 2, 3, assuming this all works, don't be afraid. I know it's not as easy as it sounds, but
it's a process.
Don't be afraid. It's a process. Do it. You only live once. just go out and do it.
Yeah.
I hope that camera angle works, because if not, then
1, 2, 3.
kind of looks goofy.
Now I have to edit that off.
He has so much of those stuff.
So yeah, that's why men start podcasts instead of going to therapy, because it's. I think it's just a win-win.
Yeah.
Besides the extra work on top of, other stuff we have to do.
I think the beauty of podcasting, similar to OnlyFans, is that you get to reach out to everyone around the world. Essentially,
Honestly,
you get to Okay,
I feel like OnlyFans has this very sexual idea about. Is it used for non-sexual things?
I've never been on it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, we're just gonna assume that it's also this great platform where people
I haven't used it.
Where
I
people
have not used it. I
Okay,
promise.
why are you getting so defensive, bro?
I'm kidding. I haven't used it at all. Okay.
No, no. I know it has this very kind of inappropriate image, but I hope people use it as this is just a platform, right? At the end of the day, it's a platform. It's a way to connect and make money, right?
Yeah.
And
for us, again, it's not about making the money, and obviously it's not here, clearly. But for us, it's just using it as a creative outlet to let our thoughts out, but also hopefully down the road, have people on there virtually, making it cool. We have so much that we have, in terms of ideas down the road that we want to implement, which we won't tell you, but will come.
It'll come.
It'll come
because we're still trying to wrap our heads around it and
build a community.
And if there's anything in particular that you want to see, just shoot us a message. Honestly, we will always answer whatever messages are sent. Maybe not immediately, but when we can, we'll get to it. So,
and if you want us to match
clothes,
we'll match.
Okay.
We had beanies, but I took mine off because
he was too scared to match.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Match. But also, my hair is nice. Shout out to Rowan if you're watching this.
Rowan the barber. At Rowan the barber. He's got a cool show. You've done a video on his shop. It's on Somerset, right?
Yeah, Somerset. Check it out.
Sunday, Ottawa. Andrew did a freaking cool video where Rowan was holding a skateboard, and the skateboard had the shop's name on it, it'll
be playing right here.
Yeah, and it just boom, just changed colors as if it was a magic trick, but it was editing, right? It was pretty cool. And I know the Sony A7S III does enable that ability to kind of manipulate colors to that degree, but still, I think that could probably be done with an iPhone. Yeah, maybe not look the same, but.
Yeah. It's just during that thought process, I made the video. I took a bit of the microphone clips out, because it wasn't as great as we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Had the intro. You'll see it here play. We'll keep it on a loop here. Essentially, I was there's something missing to this because I took that audio out. I have to make something spectacular happen here that is gonna be both not taking away too much from the actual video on its own, but creative in an aspect that will capture your attention, similar to what Ramzi said here. Through that, done different projects, and I'm what can I do to enable that creativity aspect? Basically, for some reason, I don't know why I think about random things when I'm editing. I'm what if I change that Sunday logo? And I'm but I don't even know how to do it. And I'm okay.
Watch a YouTube video.
Went on Google.
That's it.
Google.
Yeah.
Video, how to change color. Adobe popped up a video similar on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
this is how you do it. Premiere, effects, change the color, pinpoint the color you want to change, select the new color, boom, final video.
Boom.
Not perfect. If you learn how to mask it for that specific area so it doesn't affect anything else.
Yeah.
Tip of the day,
and I know that I'm sure Andrew will explain that in further detail if you want to know, but I challenge you before your next shoot, before your next creation, whatever it may be, whether it's a job or whether it's a passion project, learn one thing, go on YouTube, search whatever camera tricks, transition, whatever it is. Try and apply one new thing that you've never done in your next project and just send it to us. I'm curious. I want to know because that's kind of what I used to do in the beginning is okay, this shoot, I'm going to try and nail a mask transition where I pan through an object and then it unveils another clip beneath it, and I just find that blows people's minds, and it's super easy to do. It's called a frame blend mask, something along those lines. Peter McKinnon has a tutorial on it.
So if you want us to put a tutorial too, we'll be happy to do so.
Tutorial. It's quite time consuming, but I'd say about 20 minutes to do it.
Yeah, to make it.
You got to go frame by frame by frame by frame by frame.
But if you guys do it. If you guys don't have any footage and you want us to do footage, please comment or do something down below.
Yeah.
We can go out, we can shoot some random footage and have you guys edit it.
Or, dude, I have terabytes of footage on my computer. I'd be more than happy to share some footage, for your personal use. If you just want to create and play with it, that would make me happy.
Yeah.
You have permission to do that as long as you're not making money off it. Then you need to give me $5.
Yeah. And credentials to
take
one.
But I mean, like Andrew said, if you don't have a camera and you want to play around with editing, you can either get stock footage off the internet.
Motion array.
Mm-hmm. Adobe Stock, I think, has.
I forgot about Adobe Stock.
Adobe Stock has a lot of stuff.
You have to do subscription for those, right?
Yeah, most of them you could even just pay a small fee.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Or you could hit us up if you want to play around with some footage that we have. I'd be happy to send over some clips. If you just want to experiment, I could let you know what camera they were shot on, the settings, and then go from there.
Yeah. And if you guys have any recommendation for gear too, feel free to hit us up, because if you like the work that me and Ramzi do, we can provide you the equipment. But what that basically ties into now is what's in your bag. I'll let you start.
Yeah, so I have like 5 bags, and we'll go into details about the other stuff later. But I'm going to talk about what's in my main bag that I carry. Not the accessories yet. We'll get to that at a later date. But I'll just talk about the main tools that are in my camera bag. So step 1, the cameras, obviously. So we have Sony a7 III. That's that one. Sony a7 III. We've got an external monitor, which you can't see, which is used to frame things.
Very great quality,
because the screen on it, it's a 4K monitor. It's from Amazon. It's
5-inch?
It's a 5.5, I believe. 4K. It's powered by Sony FP batteries. It'll last maybe an hour and a half. Obviously, if it's cold outside, it might change. But it's a 4K screen. It's small. It attaches to your camera. It allows you to frame your shots when the camera screen is just 2, and it has a sunshade so that if you're outside, you can see what you're doing. So we got Sony a7 III, the screen. We have a Canon 5D Mark III. That's my photo camera. I freaking love that camera like to bits. It's the way it feels in my hand, the sound of the shutter, just that. I know everything's going mirrorless, but to have that physical everything photo wise, I shoot on the Canon. I love the way it reproduces skin tones, and I love shooting cars with that camera too, because it's just so, there's something about it. And then we got a couple lenses. Like for the Sony, I've got a 28 to 75 millimeter lens and a 16 to 35 mil. For the Canon, I've got a 24 to 70 mil and a 50 mil lens. All of those have their place. So basically, Sony is my video, Canon is my photo, and I've got a whole bunch of accessories. But we're gonna save those to another day, because I could literally talk for an hour about all the stuff I have. But let's hear about what's in your bag.
So we got the A7S III here. We have the A7R4.
Damn.
The A7R4 has a 70 to 200 millimeters, so you get that kind of nice bokeh effect over there.
That gives you that like background compression. I want to put some portraits up that you shot.
Yeah, we'll put some.
Oh my goodness.
Boom, 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 boom. I don't even know if all of that can fit, but it'll look cool.
Yeah.
And basically on the A7S III, we have the 24 millimeter Sigma Art. Favorite lens ever. Use it for every gig. The only thing I don't really like about it is the autofocus, which isn't as quick as what it could be. But I do use that. Wish I had a monitor. Would you recommend one?
Honestly, the one we're using right now, the Feel World 4K, it's from Amazon, $250. Comes with the accessories to mount it. Comes with a battery. And it works.
Link is down below.
It does the job. You could go insane. You could go up to $2-3 grand and have an external recorder with a hard drive and a bat. But honestly, it all depends. If you just want a monitor just to see how you feel with it, $250.
Exactly.
Amazon.ca, sponsor us.
Yeah, just Feel World sponsor us if you want. And then I got an 85 millimeter. Haven't touched it as much as I probably should. And we'll down the road, if you want us to break down what are key gears that you should use, let us know.
And when to use them, kind of thing. Yeah.
And I do have a wireless Rode mic that I have as well, which is great. Used it recently for a couple of gigs. And then I have an ND filter from Amazon. It's by Tiffin. Yeah. For all of my lenses here. So that's what's in my bag.
I didn't even get. I got microphones and filled.
Yeah.
I want to save audio for a whole other day because
Very
I want to talk about audio because I freaking love it, and it can up your production value significantly for not a lot of money. So
I also heard that it's like if you have a good microphone, you can also hear Ramzi's accent very well.
what? What you talking about, mate?
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
No.
What? No, man, that's getting cut out probably.
No. No.
I'm finished.
We're not cutting this out. We're leaving
okay.
it in.
You're gonna sing too.
You cut this out. This podcast is our last podcast ever. Hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.
No, that's not the end. We'll
keep the accent in there. We're keeping it in, bro. We're keeping that laughing as well.
Shit.
We're keeping all that in.
Okay, I got some outtakes from last week. We still had the mics rolling,
Oh,
and
no.
we heard Andrew's artistic voice come out.
You gotta change your password and everything.
Anyways, so to kind of to wrap it up, you may wonder why he keeps looking at his watch. It's because some of the cameras we're using have record limits, and we can't hit those limits. If we do hit those limits, then we just lose 2 cameras.
Yeah.
But before we kind of wrap it up, I want to ask you kind of what have you been working on recently, just to kind of give people an idea of recent work.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a little bit about what I've been working on in the last little bit. So I'll let you take it off.
So I've been working with a real estate company, Real Estate & Co. Shout out to you guys. Met them a couple months ago and doing videos for them on a weekly-ish basis. So a video that I did for them recently was essentially just, we wanted to focus a little bit more on the TikTok/Reel side of things. So we've been trying to come up with a couple content for that, editing a couple behind the scenes for one of the housings or homes that they're selling.
Yeah.
And 2 other videos, basically doing a pure beauty studio, like lash type of thing video for them as well. I'll slap up we can put a little clip here for you to see, just a little sneak peek, 2 seconds. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also went and did a tattoo place today.
Did you get a tattoo?
No, I didn't get a tattoo. I did, but it's in my
tattoo.
It's on my butt. I don't know if you want to see. And we'll get a take one right here.
Take one pod right here.
Give us, if we get 100 likes in this video, we'll get a tattoo that says takeONE. 100. 100? No, 1,000.
Sure, 1,000.
1,000. Okay, we'll go 1,000. If we get 1,000 likes, Ramzi's gonna get a tattoo that says takeONE. But yeah, I did it. So I met this guy probably 5 months ago, or 8 months ago, and we've progressed a lot in terms of him doing his tattoo and me doing my own video work.
That's sweet.
So we finally got the link up, and I'm in the process of making it. So if this podcast is ready by then, we'll have some up. If not, check out Fan Motion. So what are you working on, Ramzi?
So it's been a freaking crazy couple weeks, but one thing that I thought was really cool and unique that I've been working on with a good friend and business partner of mine, Kishan Sandagar of the Greasy Fix Media. We developed an outdoor time-lapse machine. So if you don't know what a time-lapse is, on the back end of things, you may have a cell phone that shoots time lapses, but all the time lapse is it's a photo taken at an interval. So it takes a photo, and then in 5 seconds it takes a photo, or in 5 minutes or 5 hours or whatever that interval you set, and then you compile them together and you play it back, and then you're able to capture an extended amount of time and showcase it in a couple seconds. So a client of ours, D Squared Construction, they're basically building a very large scale project, and they want to capture this project. This is outdoor. This is remote area.
How long is it again?
This is 4 months. Damn. So we have to capture a time lapse for 4 months. How the heck do we do this?
You've never done that?
No, never done it before. But we did the research. We did the development. It took us a month to develop this. We basically took a Pelican storm case. We cut the Pelican storm case open. We put a window in it, put a dummy battery in the camera, an intervalometer. We insulated the case. We put a plug in there. So we powered the camera with just a wall outlet. Put the window. We put a hydrophobic solution, so like Rain-X, the stuff you put on your car, so that if water hits the window, it just drops off. And then we set the intervalometer to take a photo every 15 minutes. So that's 4 photos an hour. And we did the math. We have enough storage to go for 8 weeks straight without dumping footage.
It's crazy.
So basically, I'm going to put a photo because this thing's freaking unreal. It's on a 16-foot pole in the middle of nowhere, powered by a generator. I'm confident that it'll work, but I also
believe
have
it.
my doubts because it's just like it's freaking scary.
Yeah.
So
It's high,
That's-
huh? High.
yeah, man. So that's just one thing. Like, so when a client asks us, like, we want a long-term time lapse, I'm like, crap, I've never done this before. Research some stuff. What do you know? There's a million posts about people who have done the same thing before, and they're like, this is exactly how you do it. So what I do, I read a bunch of posts, I watched some videos, gathered all the information, and then boom. So I put a photo of that. I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of the work that Keishan and I did on that, because it was many hours of development, and it got mounted a few days ago. That's why it's relevant still in the head.
Yeah.
And then another thing that we worked on was a little commercial for Chevrolet. So a local Chevrolet dealership, they wanted to enter a contest among all the other dealerships in the country. So they approached us like, hey, we need this contest entry. It's supposed to be a walk around video of the car. We're like, how much creative freedom do we have? So they showed us the grading rubric, I guess. And we saw it. I was like, okay, so as long as we touch on these 3 key features of the car, we can basically do whatever we want. So it's not released yet. I will release it soon. Maybe I'll put a little preview here, but it's basically, it's a commercial. It's a video or a film about us pitching a video to the sales guy at the dealership.
It's like a video within a video.
It's a video within a video,
Yeah.
and like we produced it, we acted in it, and edited it, did everything in 4 days, and we were just on a little bit of a time crunch. But
Damn, that's crazy.
it was very interesting and it was a very valuable experience to kind of, do an operation of that scale where we had several people involved. So keep an eye out for that. But
Yeah.
that's among some other small things. Those are the 2 basically big things that I've been working on in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. It's just good to be busy. Like you get to
joking. The way you said that.
you get to it's good to be busy in a sense where it's it's obviously the holiday season and all
Yeah.
that, but you get to there's something about the holidays that make me feel creative. Just want to get out there, do different things. I forgot I'm actually doing a Christmas video too. Not even out yet, but
No way.
it's just like a basic Christmas video fitting the holiday
Oh,
spirit.
actually,
Yeah.
I did a video of a Lamborghini Huracan, like freaking
I saw that one. That's
drifting in the snow. It was called Jingle Bull Rock.
All of it's gonna be in the links.
Yeah, that was actually so I edited that this week.
That was a nice one. That was a nice card. too.
Jingle Bell. I hate Christmas music
bells,
so much.
jingle bells,
But I mean, it
jingle
was cool. It
bells.
was a freaking awesome Lambo, just doing some donuts in the snow, a couple rolling shots, blah blah blah. But yeah, no, I'm grateful for the challenges that I'm presented with, and the resources and network to be able to approach them, and it's nice. Like if I know if I need an extra hand, I could call up Andrew, be like, Andrew, I need your help, or I need to borrow this, I need to borrow that. So really, I guess just what the relationships you have, like take care of them and respect people, and it will always come to your advantage, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's episode 2
episode 2
of Take One. Should we clap it out? 3.
Should we clap it
I
out?
want to clap. We appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you for coming to this episode.
Thank you.
Again, a like, a listen, a share, a message goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate it. And again, like all we want is to affect at least one person or inspire one person to go out there and do stuff.
Yeah.
And goes a long way for us, and it goes a long way for it goes a long way for one of you guys too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of you guys too.
So thank you for watching. We're gonna try to get one more of these out before the end of 2020, and 2021 is it's a blank slate. It's a whole other opportunity for growth. So
ask questions,
please. I like the questions.
That's why I
ask any questions. Any questions. Just be nice, but ask questions.
Ask questions. We want to know, like before the end of the year, anything you want to know.
Or tell us stories. Even I'd like to hear.
Stories.
Send us videos. Send us your work. Honestly,
we talked about it all throughout this.
Yeah.
We want to do it before the end of the year to,
Yeah.
As cheesy as it sounds, new year, new you. If you want to start that, let's start it before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Let's go from there. Okay.
And I think one more thing, if you want us to showcase your work on the show, and talk a little bit about it, feel free to send it over. I'd be happy to show a video or a little clip of someone's video and just kind of talk about it and give our opinion, maybe give some advice for future. But
and if you want to kind of like we'll be doing this soon. If you want to kind of feature on the show and speak about a specific subject too, send us a DM. We'll start from there.
Mhm.
Starts with a hi.
Hi.
And it goes hi.
Hey.
Hey. It goes from there.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. So yeah, it really goes from
Yeah.
there, and then we can hopefully continue to do this. And if assuming all this stays the same for the next couple years, then well, at least we get to branch out to people around the world. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So thank you for watching.
All
My
right.
name is Ramzi,
My name is Andrew.
and this is Take One.
Damn it.
Damn it. It's off sync. Thank you. I love you.